Redskins. 9:54 left to play in the first half. The Redskins on top by 10.
That's the great Pat Summerall calling a touchdown reception for the great Earnest Byner. That day, Washington went on to win Super Bowl 26, 37-24. And we are now 11 days away from Super Bowl 59. The man who scored that touchdown has one of the best decorated NFL careers from his generation. A star running back for multiple teams and a great, great man. Earnest Byner.
Yeah, let's
go. Good morning, football.
What's going on?
How you doing? Good to be here with you all.
Well, it's good to see you.
Ernest, we are so happy to have you on the show. Last week on our program, I wrote an essay about Mark Andrews' drop for that two-point conversion and how that moment does not need to define his career. We, of course, know that in 1987, you had a play that was a fumble in a big game against the Broncos in the playoffs, but you didn't let that play define your career. And 4 years later, you are celebrating a Super Bowl championship. When you saw the Mark Andrews play for the Baltimore Ravens, knowing what a great man Mark is and what a wonderful leader he is, did your heart go back to your moment in '87 with the Cleveland Browns? Did you think of your own story and your own moments as someone who had his great NFL career, then had this one fumble that ended up being really a label or a definition of it, unfairly or just as it was?
Yeah, I really did consider the plight of so many. There's been so many guys that have been, called out, just like y'all showed last week, that's been blamed for losing the game. And I knew that the blame game was going to manifest again. And see, Mark has to, one of the things that he has to understand is that, that play cost the game, but it wasn't the only play that made the Baltimore Ravens lose the game.
No doubt. Absolutely not. There was several plays. And then sure enough, Ernest, you have Dalton Kincaid for the Bills the very next week, and he has a big drop, and people are saying some of the same things. So you've been through this for decades. You've seen these moments. They happen in sports. They even happen in life when someone has a big opportunity and doesn't live up to it. What is your specific message to someone like Mark Andrews, or even just someone going through their regular day at home who has that type of issue? Well,
everybody fumbles. I mean, everybody has a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody goes through ups and downs in life. I mean, if you have negatives, you got to have you have to have positives. So the best way to really live the life that we have, whether it's in football or regular life, is to learn from each experience. Whatever the experience is, whether it's positive or negative, look at it as an opportunity to grow. Look at it as an opportunity to actually also pass on some knowledge to somebody else. Because when you live, learn, and grow, you have the opportunity to also teach. And that's one of the things that really manifests in my life in ways, because I became a coach. And that's one of the things that really helped me to be even a better coach, because I had empathy. I could have empathy, for the people that I was dealing with, and I guess in the long run, that's one of the things that we need to have is empathy, and also continue to love what you do. Don't ever forget that you should, whatever you do and whatever you're trying to accomplish, you should love it.
Ernest, empathy is one of the hardest emotions to tap into, and I really believe that. So the fact that you can wrap that into coaching and football is a really beautiful thing. I think another lesson is that there's always a next day, perhaps another chapter. 2 years after the fumble, you were traded to Washington. How did you go about looking at this as a fresh start, a way to redefine yourself, but also allow what happened to you to be a part of who you were as a player moving forward?
Yeah, when I actually had to look at myself in the mirror and really know that things were pretty much done in Cleveland for me, because I felt like if I stayed there, then I actually had lost my love for the game. And I called my agent. I said, "Hey, you gotta get me out of here. I need to be traded." And once he got, my agent was Alan Herman. Once he got and made that happen, and the new beginning was about to manifest. It was a path that was really good for me. I actually started training during the off season, and I can remember chanting to myself, "Champ, champ, champ." And that's and as you know, the day that I scored the touchdown was the day that I really that really manifested. The difficult thing was going through all of that process, though, having a new beginning. See, I looked at it as I was a rookie. When I got after I got traded, I went into camp, I went into mini camp, I went into my training, just like it was my rookie year. I didn't know nothing. I just went down to the team and just put my head down, put my nose down, and went to the ground.
Yeah, and then you would go on and have, a couple of 1,000-yard seasons. I was talking to one of your former coaches when on your second tour with the Cleveland Browns, Mike Shepard, and he was just talking about the type of leader you are, the type of player you are. You had back-to-back Pro Bowls years when you were with with Washington in your career there, and then you reached the Super Bowl. What was the redemption mindset for you back then? Like walk us through that process.
Yeah. It was tough to look at it as redemption. My reality was that I was trying to do the absolute best that I could, to be the absolute best that I could be each and every day, each and every practice, each and every day. Art Monk and I were running those 300s, running those hills over there at George Mason. That going through that process of being just knowing that I was pushing myself as hard as I could push myself, and also pushing others, at the same time. It was a blessing to be able to go to Washington, be able to see championship football and how guys prepared, but also know that one day I was looking to be a champ, and once I became that champion, it was silence. Yeah. Nothing. I couldn't hear anybody. I don't remember anything. I was just in a big haze. But I loved it, man. I loved the process. I didn't love the fumble. I didn't enjoy that process of going down to the depths of hell, but coming back up, being able to come up and become a champion, it was a beautiful.
Well, you find out who you are, and you also find out who's really in your corner in those moments. When you fast forward to the Super Bowl parade in 1992, after scoring a touchdown and winning the big one, did it feel like the weight of the world was finally off your shoulders, or had you already gotten over it by that point?
No, I was pretty much over it at that point. Bad thing about it, the Pro Bowl was right after the Super Bowl, so we had to go to Maui because I made the Pro Bowl, and that was back when the Pro Bowl was a game, and we actually went to the so I actually missed the parade, but being able to have this, being able to have.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There it is.
Got it on.
Nothing else says. What words do I need to say when I do that? You know what I mean? So it's a gift. It's a blessing, and it's a lot of aches, pain, blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of support. I'd say Art Monk, Gary Clark, Big Ed Simmons, Joe Jacoby, Russ Graham, Joe Gibbs, Coach Bro. All of them believed in me. And all of us worked together to make that manifest.
It's a beautiful story. Your career is a great lesson for everyone watching, that your book does not need to end when you hit that low moment. Meanwhile, you had 144 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game. So
come on now.
I talk about it as a whole thing. Hey, let's not forget, you were tearing up that Carl Mecklenburg defense.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ernest, we so appreciate you coming on the show. You're such a good man, and thanks for opening your soul to us.
Thanks, Ernest.
Thank you.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
You got it.